No, Sam, I think we need to either get Dr. John or Dr. Ron in there. It was Dr. John last time, so maybe he'll make one. If not, Dr. Ron, you can pick it up. KN4ME, W4AX.
Yeah, I will pick it up right quick because I've been monitoring these excellent AM signals. Kind of couldn't turn it down, but I'll make it brief. I'm in the process of recording you gentlemen with on audio video here with my cell phone, and because I think you need to know how good your audio is, and it's your turn next, Ron. And Ron, you're as loud as I've ever heard you here, in the best signal strength ever. On the R390A, you're pushing the carrier level up as high as 90 on a scale of 100, and it's early in the afternoon yet, so pretty darn good band conditions between us at the moment. Matt, good afternoon to you, and I appreciate the signal reports from everybody. WB4GWA, go ahead and pick it up, and I'll record you, and I'll be emailing you guys some clips of this. But I do need to go out and get the trailer and the tractor moved before nightfall and for the net, and move a couple of things because I sort of got them in place. I don't want to leave them outside. So that's the deal. WB4GWA and the group KN4.
Okay, John, very good. KN4ME, WB4GWA. Well, Millie's doing what she always does. I hadn't touched anything, so still running 300 watts. So I hope maybe it's just band conditions, but it's I've got no SWR or anything like that, so the antenna's nice and resonant. Of course, it's up pretty doggone high too, so I guess that makes a lot of difference. But you guys are boiling in here too. It's unbelievable. Mac is super loud, and John, I'm copying you very good from down there in Pensacola. Sounds good. Everything just sounds really good. So maybe we'll have a really good net. I hope so, and hopefully there'll be a lot of check-ins tonight. That's for sure. And as I said, I've been piddling around with a few projects around here, and the command set has been a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying resurrecting a piece of history, and I've got one for 40 and got one for 80, so trying to make both of them really look good again and operate like they should. So a lot of fun doing that sort of stuff. I love that old-timey stuff. And of course, gosh, when we were novices back in the day, we bought command sets from Fair Radio for $9.95, $7.95, and that sort of thing, and that was our first receivers. So
I have two Q fibers on two different 348s, and they sure do make a difference. And I sent you that little link on RF parts, but it sounds like you've got it all really cooking there, and they are great heritage. Like a lot of novices, my first transmitter was a ARC 5 40-meter transmitter that, there was that little QST article to change it to crystal control, and I remember doing that. It's one of the first projects I built. And then my first receiver was a BC348, and both of those came to me through Army Mars because I got tied in with them. So they had a big equipment room in the back, and one of the old-timers took me back in the back room and says, "Here, take these two pieces, and here's a schematic on how to build a power supply, and go forth." And that's kind of what I did. So I also have a warm spot in my heart for them. All right, John, and you're sounding good. You might comment on what rig you're on tonight. K4BZS, W4AX.
W4AX, K4BZS. On the disc kilowatt, I'm running low power, of course, but it's running about 300 watts, and I think it's still pretty good. Nice and simple too. Works every time. Had a lot to go on there, but I was just loading problem. but I think I got that now. I too started with R5s and 348s and stuff like that, but back then in Tampa we had a surplus store, and I think we was paying $5 for a receiver, $7.50 for a transmitter, and the NV7s I think they was $10 for them. And of course we could buy 1625, 6 for $1. But that was a long time ago. That was a lot of R5s ago. But like you, Mac, I have a special place in the old heart. I still got some laying around. Had a lot of fun back in there and learned a lot. And I didn't know at that time where it was going to take me, but it's fed me since 1960. No, before that, 1955, so I can't complain a bit. I got to see a lot of things that came and went, and a lot of good memories. I don't like the way the television industry turned out, but I couldn't do much about it. But anyway, KF4TXQ, I'll spit it out in a minute, Sam. K4VZS, go.
Okay, K4VZS, Pensacola, and the group KF4TXQ returning. Well, I tell you what, I grew up in Decatur, Alabama, on the Tennessee River, and during World War II, they had a U.S. Army Air Corps training base at Pryor Field over there across the river, and the main flight instructor there was Jim Mock, and old Jim married my first cousin, Vivian Timberlake, and Jim, you know, when they, you know, started battening down after the World War II and everything got back to civilian and all that, why, Jim started buying truckload parts and surplus stuff, and man, he filled up a huge building full of kind of stuff, you know, and I'd go by there. It was let's see, it was Radio and Television Supply Company, and then it became Mock Electronics, and had all kind of surplus stuff, had all kind of SCR 276s or whatever it was, and ARC 5s, and BC 348s, and all that kind of stuff. And I'd go in there and come out of there with an armload of stuff, you know, to play with. And that's what got me started on all this stuff. And some of them were not, you know, in pristine condition, but that's all right. I didn't mind. I enjoyed taking them apart to see what made them tick. And I made all kind of stuff out of them. And, you know, it's just a great piece of history. And you're right, man. I don't know how many 1625 they made, but they used a bunch of them, I'll tell you right now, during that conflict and during the Korean War also. And I wonder how many 813s were contracted, you know, at that time. There was bunches of them. And in my opinion, that's the best tube ever made for RF transmitting. And but anyway, they served me well. And it's just a whole lot of fun. Well, let's see. We're about 5 minutes away from Kevin showing up, so he'll probably start the prenet here in a little while. So anyway, let's see. I guess it goes back to you there, Dr. Ron, and WD4GWA Concord in the group, KF4TXQ.
I'm here. I'm present. Y'all carry on. I'll be here in about 4 minutes. Go ahead, Dr. Ron. Just letting you know I am here. I'm present.
W4CDJ. Okay, there's Kevin and CDJ. Let me do something here real quick here. All right, that looks good. Well, it's amazing to me. I think I read somewhere, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they made about 1 million those ARC 5s and BC 453s and 454s and all of that. But I think they made about 1 million of them. And Sam, you're right. The 813, it's just hard to beat the 813s. I'm running 2 813s in the modulator and 2 813s in the final here of Millie. And they never get red or anything like that, and she just kind of clicks along and does very well. And you just can't hardly destroy them. They're tough tubes. Even when they get to be fairly low in emission, they still work pretty well. So anyway, fond memories of those days. And I've got a couple of BC 348s that I have lovingly brought back and fully restored, and they look like they just came out of the box, nice and clean. And I found the secret to the wrinkle paint, and I can wrinkle that stuff now where it looks just like it did when it was first put on. And so that works really good, and it sure makes them look good again, that's for sure. So let's see, over to you, Mac, and you can pick up CDJ and whomever else. W4AX from WB4GWA.
All right. WB4GWA, W4AX, thanks so much. Good evening to you, Kevin. And yeah, Dr. Ron, I tell you, refinishing stuff is a real art. I guess I'm maybe a little bit above average, but you know, I can recommend, Dr. Ron, what I do now is instead of spraying the wrinkle black paint, I use powder coat wrinkle black, and boy, it sure is a hard finish and sure does look good. And I challenge you to tell the difference. And just tuck in the back of your head, if you ever have a flat front panel, you know, relatively flat, that, you know, you can get off a rig and lay it down flat. I've got all the equipment here to laser etch all the engraving on it and then spray it with white lacquer, and it looks exactly like it was screen printed. That's the word I'm trying to look for. So just tuck those back in the back of your head. All right, let's see. We might have time for CDJ to make a short one. So over to you, Stan. W4 CDJ, and then pass it up to WA4KM. Good evening, W4AX.
W4AX in the free-net. W4 CDJ. Indiana. Modulation doesn't look too good, but I guess I'm close to frequency. That might be a little bad. Well, all I'll do is search over now. If you can. That's to cover. W4KM, W4 CDJ. Put me in there for the numbers when that starts.
Okay, well, Dan, you sounding good out of Indiana, and I'm enjoying y'all. Had some visitors over here, some of my buddies we ride with, the old Romeos. Andy used to ride with us. Romeos, retired old men eating out, and they've been checking on me, want me to ride some with them. I took a little break, and I'm healthy, and I'm doing good, and we're camping, and been working on the camper, and just life is good. But it's Tuesday night, and one of my favorite times of the week. Everybody, welcome to the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Pre-Net. This net meets each and every Tuesday evening at 6:30 Eastern Pre-Net, 7 o'clock Eastern Net, and then back it up an hour on the Central Time, guys. I'm not good with that. I usually mess it up. So let me tell you who I got on the list here, and I was late. Well, I wasn't late, but late for me getting in here. I got that Mac, W4AX, CDJ, GWA Ron, and Sam. Anyone else like to get on the pre-net roster? Let me get my pen. Please come now. This is WA4KM.
KA4AMI.
And 4OZI.
K4 or BKC?
W4, I diddle. Okay, there was a couple I may have missed right at the beginning. Let me tell you what I got, and you were bowling in here, Eddie Brown. I got K84 AMI, Alan Info ZI, Bob, good evening Bob, BKC, and then Roy I diddle. And there was one right at the beginning, a couple of y'all. Could you come again, please?
W4 OB.
Okay, there's Ray over in Sandy Springs. Good evening, Ray. All right, well, we got a few here. We'll, I'm going to these other guys talk. We'll start with, let's see, how about Eddie Brown? I'll start with him, then Alan, then BKC, and then we'll pick up some more. Eddie Brown, what's going on down there? I believe it's Williamson. K4AMI, WA4KM.
All right, WA4KM and the group. This is KA4AMI. Yeah, you guessed it. It is Williamson. And we just getting checked in here. I've been listening for a long time. I've got wires run all over the place. My ranger's torn apart. I was trying to just kind of get things kind of sorted, put a tool or two back up and all that. So waiting on the net. So I'm telling you, I've been listening on my Air Spy, but before it was even plugged in to the before I could even, excuse me, I just got a text and it took my brain away. Before I even hooked the antenna to it, I was picking everybody up on the Air Spy, and it was amazing the strength of the signals tonight. So Kevin, thanks for being there, and Sam, you really sound good tonight. You were strong earlier this afternoon when I was listening, and actually, I was listening to you over the telephone, speaking with Ron. I listened to you on his command set. Boy, it sounded good, too. But anyway, that's all from here. We just fiddling around, and everyone's sounding good. Good, strong signals. So there you are. And, oh, by the way, John, you and I diddle, you guys are coming in strong here, too. So looks like we're going to have a good night for the net there, Kevin. WA4KM, this is Kilo Alpha 4 Alpha Mike India.
Okay, well, Brandon, you're sounding good. I think so. I love the fall. Radio when it's good, the bands get quiet, and we ain't having to fight and carry on with the propagations. It's my favorite time of the year, and actually vacationing, too. All righty, we'll break with Eddie Brown and go up there to beautiful Lake Cheerfield to my neighbor, Alan, north of me. Alan, what's going on, and what are you working on? I know you're always up to something. N4OZI, WA4KM.
Okay, Kevin, WA4KM. And the pre-nets, N4OZI, we're finished up with the 200V. Got it recapped. Well, that was a job. We got another 200V sitting here that's going to be done. We'll do that maybe in a couple of months. Take a break from that. Expanding out the ham shack a little bit. One of the shelving units, the shelf is going to be like an operating section here to my right, and getting it wired up and ready to go. Waiting on parts to come in for that. Moving the $50 Swan over there right now. I need to get it grounded and get the cables in and check it out and see if it's working. But that's about it. Just working on. I got to take the antennas down and work on them tomorrow. They need to be checked before we get into cold weather. They start fluttering a little bit if I don't do that. So I need to do that on the 160 and the 80. And yeah, it falls great. 160 is opening up. I've been working on 160. I'll probably be on there tonight after the net, talking to some people up north. It's a lot of fun. So been doing that and just waiting on rain. Could use some rain. Anyway, over to you there, Kevin. WA4KM. Send for OZI.
All right, Alan. Well, you're sounding good, and glad you got that project taken care of. I know you can't wait to get that table up and going, too. All righty, let's see. Next on the list, let's see, and then we'll pick up some more after that. I'll pick up Bob and then Roy. Bob, how you doing up there in Columbia? K4BKC. This is WA4KM in the pre-net to the SAMRC Swap Fellowship net.
Well, WA4KM. This is K4BKC. Well, good evening, Kevin. Good evening to everybody that's here on the pre-net. It's just a wonderful evening, and it's sitting back listening to all these great AM signals. On the 20V2 tonight as usual, and listening on the R390, and just kind of recovering from a trip to the dermatologist about the nitrogen treatment. So I feel like I've been bee stung on my arms and ears, and that's what I get for being born with pale skin. Anyway, so much for that. You're doing a great job, Kevin. Go ahead. WA4KM, K4BKC.
All righty, Bob. Well, I'll tell you what, it's funny you say that. I actually went to my dermatologist, and all these years I get skin tags removed. It's in my family, I guess, hereditary, over a few years, and I had a white scab on my hand. I thought, from falling. He said, no, it's most scabs are brown and black. The white, he said, that's cancer. That's he scared me to death, and melanoma. So they've been zapping it with the nitrogen and trying to get it under control. And he don't. I don't think he said it could be life-threatening, but he called it in time. So I'm like you. They burnt me up with these blisters and bubbles on about 3 or 4 spots on my hands. But anyway, I hope you do good with that. We'll keep you in our prayers. Okay, next on the pre-net, and then we'll pick up some more here. Roy down there in Pensacola. Roy, I hope you can hear me. I was only doing 150. I'm doing about 250 watts now. W4I diddle diddle. This is WA4KM.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Well, you're sounding good down here this evening, and the band seems like in pretty good shape, so maybe we'll have a good net after a while. You're doing a good job with the pre-net, and there you go. Well, I ain't got anything, just wanted to sit around here and wait on the net and drinking black coffee and smoking my pipe, Kevin, and just enjoying the pre-net. And I'll turn it back to you, young man, let you pick up some more. Catch you later. Have a good one. W4I diddle diddle Pensacola.
Okay, Roy, always good to hear you on there, as always. All righty, let's see. Let's pick up a few more, and we'll pick up Ray and then John. Is anybody else that'd like to get on the Tuesday night pre-net for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship net? If you'd like to get on the list and not on there, please come at this time. This is WA4KM.
WA4I.
W4KR. Kevin, good evening.
November 4 Alpha Kilo. Good evening, Kevin.
9 Tango Alpha Bravo.
All right, boy, y'all are all sounding good. Stan, you're blowing in here this evening. Okay, I got Greg, KR Stan, and Mr. Glenn up there in Sunset, and TAB. Was there anyone else?
W4CDJ. I might have got missed. I got stuck on the telephone. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you, but you're back at near the top of the list, and we'll go through this one, and hopefully we got time. We still got about 20 minutes. Okay, where are we at here? Ray over in Sandy Springs, my good friend. How are you doing this evening? W4OB, this is WA4KM.
WA4KM, this is W4OB. Well, a very good evening to you, Kevin. You have the golden voice of Villarica, for sure. Great signal. Good morning, and good evening to everybody. Eddie, Alan, Bob, and Roy. And by the way, my neighbor Alan, I'm really looking forward to the cookout that you are having on the night before Lawrenceville. So that'll be really special, Alan, and I'm really looking forward to it. So keep it short. Looks like you've got a great list on the pre-net. Kevin, and you sound good, and you're probably feeling good, too, and I'm really happy to hear that. WA4KM, this is W4OB.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm hopefully back to normal. Thanks for asking and checking. All righty, next, I think I heard John VZS, or let me see if that was him I heard earlier. John, was that you I heard earlier, K4VZS, WA4KM?
WA4KM, K4VZS. Yeah, that was me. I'm sitting down here watching my bag hit. I've been a good net tonight. Heard something. Let's kill and listen on the ads back in the early 60s. But everybody sounded good. I see it's me loosening up my grip on the microphone. But anyway, they look up for the net, and as always, you're doing a good job, Ken. WA4KM, K4VZS, Pensacola.
Okay, John, real quick, I don't know, or you may know, I'm sure you do. You had something that's kind of breaking and cutting in and out a little bit, just a little FYI, but I mean, I copied everything you said, and you're probably aware of it. If not, I just want to let you know something's going on there a little bit, but I mean, I can still copy you. And you're loud, it's just you're cutting in and out a little bit. Might want to check something on that. All right, next we got Greg down there, and I think, is it Rogersville or Hoover? I'm used to Sam saying that. WA4III, WA4KM.
WA4III, was you calling me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Greg, it's over to you in the pre-net.
Okay, I was... This is WA4III. I was fiddling with something else and wasn't paying a lot of attention, but anyway, sounding good, and I've been busy this afternoon putting up a FM antenna, FM entertainment radio antenna. Now I can listen at country music and Paul Feinbaum and Eli Gold and all them. So I got the antenna up. Good evening to everybody, and thanks for hollering at me. WA4KM, this is WA4III. Over.
All right, Greg. Well, you're sounding good. You're down just a smidgen, but nothing critical. You copied you just 100%, and the audio is beautiful. And to people that don't know, you may or may not know, but today is Prime, and I'm not affiliated, but Amazon Prime, they got some outstanding deals going on today and tomorrow. And the trucks will be rolling in here. I got some more inverters and power stations and solar panels and electric key locks for the camper and just a whole caboodle of stuff. Anyway, enough of that. Let me move on down to the Golden Corners, I believe he calls it. Stan, how you doing, sir? You're loud bowling in here. W4KR. This is WA4KM.
Yeah, that's what they call it here, Kevin. Good evening to you. WA4KM. And the SAMRC pre-net. W4KR. In a Golden Corner of South Carolina. It's what Oconee County, South Carolina is known as, Greg. Anyway, good evening everybody. Boy, everybody is just rocking through. And I'm running low power tonight, Greg. I've got Kevin. I've got the Viking 2 and the MC303 rig set up running tonight. The low power AM rig that I use locally here. I thought, geez, band condition sounds so good. We'll just fire up that rig set and not come up with not run the light bill up any further than it has to go. Anyway, I'll be here for the duration. Again, good evening to everybody, and I'll be here listening. Kevin, you all carry on. Good signal. You're pinning the S meter on this 303 tonight. By the way, Kevin. WA4KM, this is W4KR in a golden corner of South Carolina.
All right, Stan, I tell you, that Viking 2 sounds outstanding. I'm looking on the flex, and you are dead on frequency, too, and the audio is just beautiful. And you're between 20 and 30 over, too, so I wouldn't say it was too little. And the audio is just beautiful. You'd love it if you were listening. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to pick up Glenn, but let me take a standby here and see if we got anybody else that would like to get on the net, or the pre-net, I'm sorry, for the Tuesday night SAMRC, that stands for the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. If you're not on the pre-net list and would like to get on there, please come at this time. This is WA4KM.
Alpha Delta 4, Quebec.
Okay, I got Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. Anyone else? Okay, I thought I heard somebody, but we'll check back. We still got 10 or so minutes. Plenty of time. Glenn over in Sunset, how you doing, sir? You are sounding real good into West Georgia. N4AK. This is WA4KM.
Okay, Kevin. WA4KM and all the pre-netters. This is November 4 Alpha Kilo, just down the road from the Golden Corner. Neighbor Stan, and the Viking 2 does sound great. So it's been a beautiful day here in Sunset, running about 70 degrees, and the little Viking 500. So back to you, Kevin, WA4KM and 4AK.
Well, the Viking 500 is great. You're 30, almost 40 over, and the audio is just beautiful. And I meant to tell Stan, my Viking 2 is, I still got my original one Andy helped me with. My first setup was a HQ 170 and a Viking 2, and I still have them to this day, and they work great, and I love it, and the 122 VFO. All righty, next, Tom, I wonder if you're on your Collins you got up and going. W9TAB. WA4KM.
WA4KM, W9TAB. Good evening, Kevin. Thanks for running the pre-net. Yes, sir. I'm on my Collins 32V2 with the 75A4 receiver, using the D104 microphone into a homemade dipole inverted band up at about 52 feet. Now, you sound a little good down here in Florida. A good sound, good quality on you, buddy. Hopefully the band will turn around a little bit more. I tell you what, I'm really enjoying this weather. We're supposed to get some rain here tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. I appreciate you and a really good news on a report back from me. Always keeping you guys in our thoughts and prayers. That's good. Keep up the good work, buddy. They get back to you, Kevin. KM, W9TAB.
Yeah, I was looking for my foot pedal. There it is. Well, it's the Collins, you got them sounding good. I'm sure the receiver's doing a good job, and you're doing a great job, Tom, and appreciate all the help you do to help some of the AM world as well. Alrighty, next on the list, I've got Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. It's over to you, sir, for your comments. This is WA4KM in the pre-net.
Thank you, Kevin. This is Dave, Alpha Delta 4 Quebec. Near Memphis, just north of Memphis, near Millington, Tennessee, and it's still pretty light out here, so I'm not hearing the Florida guys very good yet, but they'll be coming along. So we're running the Viking 2 barefoot, Viking 2 CDC, and R390A receiver, and a D104. So, inverted V at about 60 feet. Anyway, I heard Dr. John earlier. He was pegging out my estimator just about. It was full quiet and it was beautiful. But some of the other ones I did got a little bit of noise. Kevin, you sounded real good though. That's normal. Anyway, we'll be listening for the net. So good evening to everybody. So back to you, Kevin. WA4KM AD 4Q.
Okay, Dave. Well, North Memphis, I got you on the list, and you're a little light, but I copied everything. You're sounding good, and the band seems to be doing pretty good. All right. Well, I've got, Lord, over half a page here. Looks like 16, 18 or so people. Let me take a standby. We reached the bottom of this first list and see if there's anyone else out there that would like to get on the Tuesday night pre-net list for the SAMRC Swap and Fellowship AM Net. If you'd like to get on the pre-net roster for the net coming up here in 8 or 10 minutes, please come at this time. This is WA4KM.
K4 JCP.
I knew you were out there. Go ahead, Joe. Make one since we're down at the bottom of the list. We got plenty of time, not to rush. K4 JCP. Let us know on the status on the moving thing. I hope that's coming along in your favor. I don't think it was before. Over to you, Joe.
Okay, thank you, K4 JCP here. Well, things are still kind of sloshing around up in there. We got a few nibbles. Still got the open around. So time will tell, I guess. Enjoyed a nice day today. It was in the 70s, and I think it's supposed to have some rain tomorrow, so that'll be all right too. And looks like got a little bit of squirt here. Let's see what's going on. There we got rid of the swirls. All right. I know the net's coming up here in a minute, so let me crank it back your way there. This is K4 JCP standing by for the net.
All righty. We still got 8 or so minutes or 10. We're in good shape. All righty. Well, we've reached the bottom of that list. Anyone else out there that's listening, we'd love to have you if you'd like to get on the pre-net roster for the net starting in about 8 or so minutes. Please come now. This is WA4KM. Okay, I'll start back up here at the top. We'll see if pick up Dan here and then go through the rest of them. But let me just take this time. We still got about 6 or 7 minutes. Anyone out there listening, shortwave, SDRs, what have you, and I'd like to find out what this Tuesday night net is all about. It's been going for many years, almost 3 decades. It's the SAMRC Southeastern AM Radio Club SwapNet. And we got a website Dr. Ron's been working on. It's absolutely fantastic. Get your pens ready. The website is w4ami.org. That's whiskey 4 Alpha Mike India.org. O-R-G. Go to that website if you'd like, and if you'd like to become a member, why, it don't cost anything to be a member. You get a number, and you can actually get a certificate and get it mailed to you just for the postage, no charge. And there's a lot of beautiful vintage equipment out there, pictures of people's stations, people working on stuff for sale. You can see all the members. I'm not sure exactly, last time I looked, several hundred members on that list, and it's just a great thing, and it's been going on for many years. Just a little background there, and Bob's the president, Sam's vice president, Ron's the trustee, and they let Eddie Brown handle all the money, and Stan does a net control, and me and Alan do the pre-net to help them along. Anyway, enough about that. Just want to let everybody know, because I've had some emails and stuff in the past, just to let everybody know what it's about. Okay, we still got about 6 or so minutes. Let me go back up here. I'll pick up Dan, and then we'll pick up some more if they're out there wanting to get on the list. W4CDJ, Indiana. This is WA4KM in the pre-net.
Hi, Kevin. WA4KM in the pre-net. W4CDJ returning. Had an interesting day today. Around 12:30 Eastern time here, 12:30 p.m. I was talking to a friend of mine over near Indianapolis. It's, maybe as the crow flies, 80 miles, something like that. And heard another station breaking in, but it looked like a controlled carrier in upper sideband, so I thought it might be a Drake rig or something. But after all was said and done, we got it all figured out. It was a gentleman named Jonas, AF5AI, flying a Learjet at 40,000 feet.
CDJ.
Well, okay, Dan. Wow, we got a lot going on up there, but I'm copying you fine out of Indiana down here to the deep south, as they say, in West Georgia. So appreciate you being there, and you're sounding good. Okay, let's see. Let me take a standby again. I'll take a lot trying to get everybody on this list for Sam and myself as well, and then we'll pick up Mac after that. Is there anyone else out there that would like to get on the pre-net roster for the net coming up here in about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes or so? Please come now.
Whiskey 4, Whiskey Foxtrot Lima.
Okay, hey, there's my Florida guy, W4WFL. Good evening to you. I'll work you in here. Let's pick up Mac real quick, pick you up, and then I'll turn it over to Sam. Mac, W4AX. And your audio is absolutely beautiful, and you're just pinning the needles. Over to you, Mac, WA4KM.
All right, WA4KM, W4AX. Well, I'm going so late in the rotation, which is normal. Sam, you could just skip me if you want to when the net comes around, but thank you for running the net, or the pre-net, Kevin, and the net, Sam. Kevin, wonder if I'm going to see you at the Crestview Hamfest. And I spent the morning repairing a SPE amplifier for Bob, KN4HH, replaced a bunch of relays on the output board, so I think we got him back in business. And then Reed, W2CQH, Charlie, K4FNY, and Chuck, AE4CW, all descended upon me, and we visited for a while and then went to lunch. I'm on the gates tonight. Alan, thanks again for the 3V28s. That was super kind of you, and I really appreciate it. And I guess I'll just wrap up by saying I hope everyone keeps Israel in your thoughts and prayers. Horrible, horrible things happening in that part of the world. And I've spent a lot of time in Israel, and they're good people. Anyway, back to you, Kevin. WA4KM, W4AX.
I couldn't agree more. And absolutely, I concur with keeping Israel in our thoughts and prayers. And this is horrible what they're doing to kids and women, and just the whole deal is just bad. All right, well, we'll pick up W4WFL, and then I'll send this thing over to Sam. Go ahead and make one real quick. W4WFL down there in Florida. This is WA4KM in the pre-net.
Yeah, I guess I better make it pretty quick. Time going by pretty fast. So anyway, I just wanted to get checked in and just want to say hello to everybody, and we'll be standing by for the net. This is W4.
Okay, well, no, you're fine. You're right on the money. We got about right at a minute according to my atomic clock, so that worked out just great. And then Sam can pick up. Let's see, I was going to go back to Dr. Ron and Bob and Eddie Brown, but Sam can pick them up here as he picks it up. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all that checked into the pre-net. I enjoy, as y'all can tell, I get excited even after all these years calling the pre-net for this net. It's one of my oldest and favorite nets out there, and appreciate each and every one of y'all. All right, well, at this time, let me turn it over to Sam in Alabama. Sam, and I'll be here. I'm going to run down the hall, grab a bottle of water, but I'll be right back, and I'll follow around the list with you. And thanks for calling the net, and thanks each and every one of you for checking in. And don't forget to check the website, w4ami.org. Okay, Sam, over to you. KF4THQ, this is WA4KM in the city of Gold.
Okay, Kevin, fine pre-net, and thank you very much. And I couldn't agree with you more on what's going on over there in the east. It's just terrible. And, but there's a lot of meanness in the world. And there's some cruel people, there's no doubt about it. The lowest of humanity gets involved in that kind of thing. Beheading babies, I can't believe it. But anyway, it's happening. All right, this is W4AMI. I'm now assuming the call. This is Southeastern AM Radio Club Swapping Fellowship Net. My name is Sam. I'm in Dadeville, Alabama, and my call is KF4TXQ. Normally, if there's anything normal about me, but I'm going to be like Willie Nelson. I may not be normal, but nobody is. All right. Let's see. And, Mac, I'm going to call on you anyway. We got a long list here, but we'll just rock on down it. Okay, the first song I'm list for this time in the net is going to be Bob, K4BKC, our president. It is your turn, sir. KF4TXQ, KAW4AMI.
Well, W4AMI and the net. This is K4BKC, Bob in Columbia, Tennessee. Well, good evening, Sam, and good evening to everyone on the net. It's a beautiful evening and a lot of great AM signals. I'm enjoying listening to all of them. I think I've copied everybody that kicked in just fine. And I'll concur with Mac and the group that we certainly need to keep the people of Israel in our thoughts and prayers. Also, members of our own group here, W4CT Ben and W4YL Susan and K4CWW Perry and his family. We need to continue to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Ben is going to be discharged from the hospital this week, so that's a good thing. Good to hear that. Crestview, Florida Ham Fest is coming up this weekend, and hope everybody that's able can go to that. That's going to be a wonderful affair. Stone Mountain Lawrenceville Ham Fest is coming up October the 4th and 5th. I'm sorry, November the 4th and 5th. That's going to be another good Ham Fest. And I got an email from our club secretary, Steve Waters, that said to anyone that's interested, AM is live on 17 meters. It said it's 18.115 megahertz on 17 meters at 8 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the evening. There's AM activity on 17 meters, so I just wanted to pass that along. Well, Sam, I've taken enough of your time. Thanks, Kevin, for the pre-net. Back to you, Sam. W4AMI, K4BKC. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Bob. You do a whole lot for AM and the net and so forth. And, man, your 20V2 is sounding great. Good to have you with us. Thank you. Next on my list is Eddie Brown, KA4AMI, Williamson, Georgia. It is your turn, sir.
Okay. W4AMI, this is KA4AMI. Good evening, everyone. Sam and Kevin, thank you very much for doing your great work this evening. And we got ideal conditions. I wouldn't say anybody could do it tonight. You guys are doing a great job. But anyway, Bob, I just went to the dermatologist myself a week or so ago, and they did the same thing to me, but I get it every 6 months, so they seem to always find some little something to squirt you with that stuff with, and it does. It brings tears to your eyes if they do it in the right spot, I guarantee you. And Roy down there in Pensacola said he was sitting around drinking coffee and smoking his pipe. It just brought memories back. I got a picture of my dad on the wall here, and he smoked the pipe, and I have the pipe attached to the picture frame. And here's the smoke for Walter Raleigh. When he run out of that and couldn't find it, he had Prince Albert. So I'm thinking maybe you're doing the same. I don't know what they smoke these days. But anyway, that just brought an old memory back, Roy. Thank you very much. What a great night for AM. It's very refreshing from a noisy summer we had. and boy, am I enjoying it. And again, Kevin talked about the net. Don't forget to check the club website, w4ami.org, and check for coming events. We try to keep that, or Ron tries to keep that all up to date, and so we all know where to go and when to be there. On the gates, BC1G, on 75A4. That's about it from here. 7-3s to all for now, and we'll be back next week, Lord willing. W4AMI, Sam, this is KA4AMI, Eddie and Williamson.
Okay, Eddie Brown, well, you're sounding great on that BC1G, and you're putting out a 20-plus over signal, and signals are just really great tonight, no two ways about it. Only thing I could want for more is for more rain. We're not having as much rain, but then again, if wishes was horses, beggars could ride. So what could I say? Okay, next on our list is our trustee and webmaster, WB4GWA. It is your turn, sir. This is W4AMI.
Well, all right, Sam, W4AMI from WB4GWA. Good evening, everybody. Really, really good signals tonight, and just copying everybody super well. Mac, I was going to comment to you when you were talking about powder coating panels and that sort of thing. I know exactly what you're talking about because I've done several panels that way, and cabinets and that sort of thing, and it really makes a lot of difference. And I'll take you up on that deal of being able to silk screen back on the lettering back onto certain panels. That's for sure. Because sometimes that's a delicate task, and if you've got it down pat, why that's a good deal for sure. But everybody sounds really good tonight, and we're on Millie, and your 813 seems to be doing the job tonight, so we're just sitting back and enjoying everybody. And Sam, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into the other side of the shack over here and turn my command set on that I've been working on, and I'm going to listen to the rest of the net on my command set. I think that'll be neat. So, Sam, doing a great job. Thanks, Kevin, for the pre-net, and thank you, everybody, for checking in tonight and keeping this club as strong as it is. W4AMI from WB4GWA in Concord.
Roger, Roger, and thanks for all you do to help it going, Dr. Ron. And you enjoy listening to your SCR 274 or your ARC-5 receiver over there in that end of the shack. And I love those old sets. And the only thing that would mess up on them is those electrolytics they put in them weren't too good. You know, if you can get hold of some good ones and put them in there, it'll run forever. But anyway, this is W4AMI with the Southeastern AM Radio Club Swapping Fellowship Net. And next on my list is Mac, W4AX in Ball Ground, Georgia. Mac, it is your turn, sir. This is W4AMI.
All right, W4AMI, W4AX. Thanks, Sam. And great signals. I'm copying everybody over RF, 100% on my R390, not A. And everybody's sounding really great. And thanks so much for running the net, Sam. And Dr. Ron, I think it's super cool you were listening on the command set. I think that's always great anytime we can use the really old technology. And I hope to see all my Florida friends and anyone else at the Crestview Hamfest this Saturday. And I don't know everybody will eyeball. I know John VZS and others, Art, N4JK, and others will be there. And maybe they can help me do an eyeball QSO with you. But if you see somebody wandering around with my call sign, please come over and say hello. And, of course, look forward to seeing everyone at Stone Mountain. Weather can be really hit and miss there, but it should be great. All right. Thanks again, Sam. Back over to you. KF4TXQ, W4AX, Ball Ground.
Okay, Mac, you're sounding great. And, boy, these signals are really choice tonight. What a sweet evening for AM. And all right, next on my list is John, K4VZS in Pensacola. Brother John, it is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
W4AMI, K4VZS. I slipped over here to the other range in the QRO. I'm trying to run this QRO and make sense of it all together. But the problem with my this kilowatt is the microphone base. I'm going to change that out, and I should kill everything. But everybody sounded good. I'll tell you, it's amazing how much, just 3 weeks of May it can make. But I'm certainly enjoying the night. Try to keep it on to the end. We'll see what happens. But other than that, it's the rain on the QRO. W4AMI, K4VZS, let's go.
The range in the QRO, that's another version of the People's Radio, I would imagine. So anyway, it's sounding good, John. And hope you're having nice weather down there in Pensacola town. Okay, next on the list is Alan, N4OZI in Woodstock. It is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
Okay, Sam. W4AMI in the net. It's N4OZI over here in Woodstock near the shores of beautiful Lake Cheerful, working on this expansion. Moving radios over here, making room for more stuff. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, things are going good here. Got the gonna be working on getting the KWM2 back on the air. Had some contact problems on the relays, but they've been cleaned off, and also found a good connector for the back there for the RF. Looks like that's going to be a winner there. Never did like those RCA connectors on those Collins rigs like that, but I think we got something that will work now. And man, it's really good. It's nice and quiet. You think about the challenges we had with the summer, with the electrical storms and the static crashes, and somebody trying to check in, and right when they're giving their call, static crash, take them out, Sure is nice to have a quiet band with good conditions like this. So it is great to be into the fall. And a lot going on, and going to continue working here in the ham shack, getting things fixed up. And like I said, we got a lot to do. Not much else. Sure could use some rain though, and I think we're supposed to get some, but it doesn't. The weatherman keeps backing off of it every time I click on the weather forecast. They keep backpedaling on that. So I don't know if we're going to get any rain this week or not. We sure could use it. It's awfully dry over here. But great to hear everybody. Sam, appreciate you calling net. Kevin, appreciate you calling the pre-net. And yeah, Dr. Ron's got his command set. I got to get my little command set going. That's one of my projects that I need to do. I've got a little command set for this frequency. And beautiful thing, black wrinkle finish, brand new old stock. And I got that at Dalton years ago. I need to get that going. And that might be something further down into the into the winter. Anyway, turn it back to you, Sam. Sounding good. W4AMI. It's N4OZI.
And you are too, Alan. Sounding great, and appreciate what all you do for the net and for the club. And this is W4AMI, a.k.a. KF4TXQ, Dadeville, Alabama. And next on my list is Roy, W4I Diddle, Pensacola. It is your turn, sir, and I hope that you're feeling better than I look. Over.
Way to go, Sam. This W4I Diddle Roy in Pensacola. Well, it's good to be here, as Miss Minnie Pryor used to say on the Grand Ole Opry. Howdy. I'm just so proud to be here. I really am. It's good to be alive this evening and enjoying ham radio. I tell you what, signals are great down here at my house this evening. My receiver's giving everybody a 35 and 40 over that I've heard so far on the net. So Everybody's sounding good here tonight. Well, I don't know anything else. I'm running Miss Daisy May this evening, a B&W 5100, a B model, and an NC300 receiver, a pair of 813s, and a B&W amplifier. And that's pretty well the story, Sam. The same old setup, but I always enjoy running it. I have a lot of fun with it. I've got a little saying that says, put out the cat, tune up the fiddle. Let's make a little RF with I diddle diddle. So there you go, Sam. Back to you. Have a good man. What's left? I tell you, everybody join in and make it better than we would if we wasn't here. So there you go. Well, anyway, let me say this, and I'll let you have it back, Sam. I hope everybody out there in Radio Land feels as good as I look. Back to you, Sam, from W4, I diddle diddle Pensacola.
Man, you sounding great on that rig as always, Roy. And man, you got the right kind of output tubes in your final, no doubt about it. Those 813s are hard to beat. My favoriteest tube in the whole world. And I got two of them in this rig, and you got two of them in that one. So there you go. All right. Next, we're going to Ray, W4OB in Sandy Springs. Ray, it is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
W4AMI. This is W4OB. Well, a very good evening to you, Sam. And you are certainly sounding great from the shores of Lake Martin. Just a beautiful signal over here. In fact, all the signals are excellent this evening. I'm copying you, Dan, up there in, I think you're in southeast Indiana, W4CDJ, copying you just fine. And of course, Roy, W4I Diddle Diddle, I copied you just perfectly. And you're sounding good on Daisy May. No, is it Daisy May? The B for Beautiful. So very, very good. And again, Sam, thanks so much for being such a great net control this evening, and thank you to Kevin for doing a beautiful pre-net and getting such a great list together. So I'll keep it short and send it back to you, Sam. And I'll listen around for sure. W4AMI. This is W4OB 73, Ray in Sandy Springs, Georgia.
And you're sounding great from Sandy Springs, Ray. Got that rig sounding great. Okay, next is Greg, WA4III in Rogersville, Alabama. It is your turn, sir, W4AMI.
This is WA4. I've got a phone call. Can you pick me up later?
Will do. We're glad to hear you now. Go ahead and answer your phone. We'll go on down here to Stan, W4KR in Walhalla, South Carolina. It is your turn, sir. This is W4AMI.
All right, Sam, and thank you. W4AMI and the net W4KR. Well, good evening again to everybody. Boy, as we're all saying, conditions couldn't be much better, and it's sure a pleasant surprise for what it had been during the summer. There were a few summer Tuesdays that were for Alan and I know also Sam, for you and Kevin, that were kind of rough. Get all done with the net, and my ears, all my ears wanted to hear was silence for a bit. But anyway, we're doing a great job tonight. Kevin does a great job with you, Sam, and he's to be congratulated for it, and you do as well. I have a couple of things on the want list I'm gonna throw out here. I need a 1U4 tube. One United 4 tube. That's a RF stage in a Zenith Transoceanic. One of my neighbors here, W8KMX, over across Highway 11, is rehabbing one, and the 1U4 in there is tired, and it takes a whopping signal out of the signal generator to get it to hear anything. The rest of the rig is fine, but it's the tube is it. And I'm looking for a 2 coils for an HRO 60. I'm looking for the B coil and the C coil, which is the 40 and 20 meter coils, basically. The 60 is different than those coils are different than the ones in the HRO 50, because the 60 was the double conversion beginning at 79. So the coils are different. Anyway, the B and the C coil is what I'm looking for. I picked up 2 HROs up at Fair Radio a couple of weeks ago when we were up there. We were up in Michigan visiting my grandchildren and my great-granddaughter, and she's about to have a sister within the next week or so. She's going to be having a sister, so there'll be two great-granddaughters up there. But on the way back, we stopped at Fair Radio in Lima, Ohio, and he had an HRO 60 that was dirty, but surprisingly good condition. It had the AC coil, which is the 15-meter band spread coil, and that's unusual, but the B and the C coil were missing, so that's what I need for that. I also picked up an HRO Junior, which goes back to, it traced the serial number on the thing, and it goes back to it was manufactured in July of 1936, and that'll be on here with the Viking 2 eventually. I don't know what I'm going to do with the 303. It's not going anywhere. It's in great condition, and it's not going anywhere. But we'll find a use for it. So back to you, Sam. That's it for tonight, and we'll be sitting here listening to the end. W4AMI and the Southeast AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. This is W4KR. Good night.
Good evening to you there, Stan, W4KR, and I hope Miss Jones doing all right. I imagine she's in the shack with you and so forth. But anyway, I'm glad that the Faraday shield on I-10 is let down. We're getting signals from down there good, and you're coming in great from Walhalla. But anyway, okay, let's see. Next we have Dave, AD4Q. In Millington, Tennessee, I believe, down there close, or over there close to Memphis. It is your turn, sir, W4AMI.
Okay, W4AMI and the net. This is Dave, AD4Q. And yeah, we're hearing everybody pretty good tonight. This is pleasant. This winter, or this summer was a challenge for me, I'm sure, for other people too. Yeah, we're on the Viking 2 CDC and listening on the R390A. And I think with the pre-net, Sam, when you were talking to Dr. John, I couldn't even hear you. But now you're almost hanging out my S-meter as it's starting to get dark here. You really picked up good. And I can hear Dr. John real good, because he's a whole lot closer. So we'll continue to listen to the rest of the net. Everybody have a good evening, and I'm really enjoying this too. Thank you, Sam. W4AMI. This is AD4Q.
Okay, Dave. Well, you're sounding great on that Viking 2, and great radios. You know, when propagation is for you, you can't be more fortunate. But when propagation's against you, there ain't no helping it. But that's just the way it goes. All right, let's go over to Sunset, South Carolina. Mr. Glenn, N4AK, it is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
Okay, Sam, W4AMI and the fine group here on AM tonight. Beautiful signals. What a nice group of hams. Temperature Over here is about 70 degrees and sunset. Been a beautiful day. And I'd like to thank Bob for giving us a report on W4CT Ben and Susan. And certainly prayers for Ben and Susan and others that are experiencing sickness, and prayers for Israel and the situation there in the Middle East. So thanks, Sam, for doing the net. Got a great signal in here tonight. Back to net control, W4AMI, November 4 Alpha Kilo.
Okay, Glenn, well, you're sounding great over here on Lake Martin on your rig, and I agree with all those sentiments, and I really feel for my brothers and sisters over there in Israel, and I'm gonna share a little of my past with having sung in temple for many years. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. This is W4AMI and the Southeastern AM Radio Club Radio Net. Okay, going on down the list. Tom, W9TAB in Pensacola. It is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
W4AMI, W9TAB. Thanks for picking me up, Sam. Appreciate you running that. Kevin, thanks for doing the free net. Sam, you sounding good down here. Of course, you always do. Excellent signals coming in the good to hear everybody, all my brothers and sisters on the net. Gonna enjoy looking at a few of them and on the net face to face with Crestview. Crestview's gonna be really good to have that. Talking on the Collins 32 V2 right now with 7584 as the receiver, and with the A-Static D104 microphone. Up at about 52 feet. So, beautiful weather here. Supposed to have some rain moving in tomorrow, and we sure need it. I'll tell you what, I went out in my front lawn the other day, and there's like a okay, well, I'm going to turn it back to the net, and thanks again, Sam, for AMI, W9TAB, and good evening, everybody.
Good evening to you, Tom, and your Collins 32Z is doing a great job. You got a great signal up here to Lake Martin. And next on my list is Brother Joe, K4 JCP down in Fort Walton Fishing Camp. So anyway, Mr. Joe, it is your turn, W4AMI.
Well, thank you, Samuel. And the net, K4JCP, good afternoon to everybody. Everybody out there is having a good day. We had a nice day here. Temperature up in the 70s, and it's cooling off now right at 70, and going to get down in the 60s. Going to have a little rain tomorrow, I think, but we could use a little shower or two, so that won't be bad. We're working on a little HT40 tonight with some help from the SB220, and looks like everything's in a good mood, so Sam, that's always a good deal. And thank you for those wishes for the folks over in Israel. That's a shame. Anyway, hope everybody has a nice rest of the week. We're heading up to Chattanooga for a few days, so we're going to miss the Crestview Ham Fest this weekend, and boy, I sure miss that, but we had this scheduled before we knew about the Ham Fest, so got to keep Mama happy, you know. Sam, back to you, buddy, and everybody have a nice week out there.
Okay, Mr. Joe, well, you sounding mighty good this evening, and I hope when you get set up in Chattanooga in the future, well, I hope your station propagates down here as well as you're doing from down there in Fort Walton Beach. So anyway, and last on my list, and not last in terms of quality, just last in terms of order. W4WFL, Pensacola, it is your turn, sir. W4AMI.
Okay, this is W4WFL, and happy to take the end of the line, and I just wanted to say my condolences for the state of Israel and the people there. They're in my prayers, and the only thing that's comforting to me right now is that God's in control and He's going to take care of that situation. So we'll just keep praying here. And as far as the drought, it might be that the drought might be over with next week. There's some bad weather in the Gulf of Campeche, which is on the south end of the Gulf of Mexico, and it's supposed to move up into our area around Wednesday of next week, and I think it's supposed to put some rain into the Gulf Coast states for a day or two. So I think some areas they were talking about over in South Georgia, maybe as much as 4 inches and a little bit less here in the Panhandle. So anyway, I thought I'd throw that into you guys that are thirsting for some water. So anyway, that's all I got to say to everybody. So 73s and good evening to everybody. This is W4WFL in Pensacola.
Sounded mighty fine from down there in Pensacola, and let's hope you get some good rainy weather that you need, and you know how it is. Okay, well, that gets us down to the bottom of the list. Let me throw it back up to Kevin. WA4KM, you want to wrap it up? This is W4AMI. You assume the call, over.
Let me get the right foot switch. Okay, Sam, you done a fantastic job, man. What a great net, and the band was in great shape. I stepped away for a minute. I assume, let me see real quick before I wrap it up. Only one I seen well, you may not have missed him. I stepped away was Dave up in Memphis. Did Dave 84Q, did you have a turn before I go on? I stepped away for just a second. Over.
WA4 Triple I in Rogersville had a phone call, so you might call on him first. That's WA4III. Take it away. This is W4AMI now, KF4TXQ.
Okay, you were reading my mind, Sam. That's where I was going next. I know Greg said he was on the phone, and that'll wrap us up here. Greg, WA4III, did you make it back off the phone? It's over to you for your comments in the Tuesday night Southeastern AM Radio Club Swap and Fellowship Net. Greg, if you're there, go ahead and make one.
W4AMI, this is WA4III. Thank you, and I apologize for putting you off there, but sometimes these phone calls don't want to wait too much. And I'm still talking on the old trusty Johnson Valiant, and I tell you what, I've got a truckload of Johnsons, but I just like the old Valiant 75A3 receiver, and that's what we're running. I've been busy this afternoon putting up an FM radio antenna, and got that job completed. And so other than that, I don't have anything to report, but doing a good job, and thank you. W4AMI, this is WA4III.
KN4 Mike Echo.
Okay, Greg. Well, you're sounding good, and what a beautiful night for AM. I tell you, I just love helping Sam and these other guys do the Tuesday night SAMRC Swap Fellowship Net. And did get here Dr. John there, KN4 Mike Echo. We'll shoot it over to you, and then we'll see if anybody else is out there before we tie the ribbons on it, so to speak. That's where they used to say it years ago. KN4 Mike Echo. Dr. John, go ahead and make one. This is W4AMI.
Thanks. Thanks, Kevin.
excuse me, KN4 Mike Echo. I hate to bust in like that, but didn't know if you hear me. I'm on the 32 V3. I'm not on the big rig. I enjoy swapping rigs from time to time, and got this thing going and enjoying it. I was in for the round table before the pre-net actually, but I had to check out and do some things here that had to get done before dark. So we got them done and came in. Great signals all around. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I did audio some of you guys earlier, and I sent some emails out with those clips. Thought you'd enjoy listening to it. And John, K4VZS, that included you. If I didn't, I think I'd already told Mac and Dr. Ron that I was going to email their clips. And I'm happy to do this. Anybody in the future, excuse me, dusty out there on that lawnmower today. Anyone else that would like a clip, I'd be glad to do that if I can. W4AMI, Kevin, back to you. This is KN4 Mike Echo.
Well, all righty, Dr. John. Well, the 32V2 sounds good. Of course, it's not the Bill Decker rig, but nothing wrong with the audio, and signals are real good, too. The band has just been fantastic this evening. I'm telling you, this AM is just great. It's still alive, and the folks here it's just a great organization. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all being here. Okay, we've reached the bottom of the list this evening, and if anyone would like to get on the list or make a comment on the SAMRC Swap Fellowship Net, you're welcome to do so now. Please come now with your call. This is W4AMI.
Yes, yes. W4OLJ.
And K4AH1.
WA4FUU.
And W4CDJ double with you.
Okay, I've got CDJ up here too. I thought he had checked out, but I got KKJ, FLD, I believe it was. I think it may be FLZ. Let's look on my notes. I can't read my own scratch. And then Virgil, and the OLJ, and then K4HUM, that's Lenny. God, I was writing terrible. And then Richard, WA4FUU. Did I leave anyone out?
203 Foxtrot Zulu Delta.
Okay, that's not a L, that was a Z. That was my fault on my sloppy handwriting. Okay, well, go ahead. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and pick up Greg down there and paste. W4KKJ, go ahead and make your comment. This is W4AMI. How you doing, sir?
Thanks for picking me up. W4AMI, WB4KKJ. Had a good day today. Work was good, and came home and got to do some things around the house. So got a little rain moving in tomorrow, so that'll be good for us there. But hope to see you in Crestview this weekend. So you got a good signal in the face tonight. You always sound real good, Kevin. So I'm going to turn it back over to you. W4AMI, WB4KKJ.
Well, I tell you guys out on the West Coast, listen to me. Gulf Coast are balling in here tonight. Everybody's just beautiful signals and great audio and conditions. You just couldn't ask for no better. Greg, thanks for stopping by. Always good to hear you out of Pace, Florida. And next we'll pick up K3FZD. Go ahead with your comment, sir. This is the SAMRC Tuesday Night Swap Fellowship Net.
All right, this is Killer 3 Foxtrot Zulu Delta, Larry, Signal Mountain, Tennessee. I'm just wondering right now, do you hear any hum on my signal? Over.
Yes, sir. It sounds like maybe a background or 60 cycle hum, but I'm copying you fine. But if you want to go ahead, but yeah, there's a little hum. Over.
Okay, well, I'll have to see about that. But at any rate, not doing very much here. We had some handymen working in the house because I don't have any handy hands. I'm not a handyman. So some odd jobs were done. And I think I heard some station say, was he moving to Chattanooga? Of course, on Signal Mountain, we were down on Chattanooga, so I wasn't really paying detailed attention at that time. W4AMI, K3FZD.
Okay, yeah, you got a good signal, and like I said, just that little bit of hum, but I copied you just fine. It's not too overbearing, but it is there. And hopefully you can get that straightened out. I got confidence in you, or maybe like you said, John, or one of those guys give you a hand. John's going to say, quit volunteering me, but he's helped so many people, and he's really good. Okay, next on the list, let me grab my volume here. My good friend in Sweetwater, Tennessee. Virgil, tell me how cold it is up there, too. I bet y'all, is the leaves changing? Give us a mountain leaf report. W4OLJ, this is W4AMI.
W4AMI in the net, this is W4OLJ. Okay, Kevin. Thanks a lot there. Well, the leaves are falling. A lot of them are falling, but I don't know. The color just don't seem right yet, but they'll get there. We had a big frost there Sunday morning. It got down to 40 or a little under that. Had a big frost on the rooftops. But like everywhere else around, it's really dry. We could sure use some rain. It's a beautiful day here today. I don't know what the temperature was. I guess it got up around 70. I don't know. I didn't even look, but it was really nice out there. Sure would like to be going down to Crestview or Stone Mountain, but don't guess I'll get to go to either one. But I've never been to Crestview, but boy, that Stone Mountain or Lawrenceville, that's really a good one. Lots of beautiful signals on tonight. I was copying Dave out there in near Memphis real well. He was just coming right on in here on the Valiant, and John down in Pensacola, and just everybody. So that's about it, Kevin. Doing a great job, you and Sam, and really enjoyable to just sit here and listen to all these good signals. Back to you, Kevin. W4AMI. This is W4OLJ in Sweetwater.
I tell you, Virgil, your audio's obviously just great, and you were pinning the needle. Yeah, appreciate you being in there. Yeah, I meant to tell Mac earlier. Of course, I did text him. We're up in there. I was planning on going to Crestview, but I don't know. With Susie having her, she's got some issues going on with her, and you know, I've got doing these treatments on this spots, I guess, on my hands, cancer spots or whatever you want to call it. But we're going to try, but it's not looking real good at this point. But we will definitely be in Lawrenceville. I love that one as well. Okay, moving right along. Let's go down there, and I think Lenny's got a table set up down there, or a camper, or going to be cooking. And I heard him up on frequency on up the band talking about what all they're going to have down there. Y'all just come hungry. Lenny's going to have plenty of food. K4HUM, Lenny, go ahead. Good to hear you tonight. This is W4AMI.
Thanks, Kevin. W4AMI in the net. K4HUM. Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to serve food down there. I was kind of in the back about that, but I may look into it. If so, it won't be much. Maybe just a steak. But anyway. We'll leave that alone for right now. Wish I could though. That sounds like a plan. I love doing that too. Anyway, Kevin, welcome back. I haven't been able to tell you that, and it sounds like you're lurking in the shadows because if you heard that discussion, you had to be listening and not yakking. Anyway, doggone. Look forward to maybe catching up on these evenings and seeing how your little impromptu vacation turned out. Back to great signals tonight, and it's always good to be on here. And even though I'm kind of turning the dial, you know, Kevin, how many nets and stuff I usually spin a dial on, and this one happens to be one that I have to put my ear to. Anyway, W4AMI, W84KM, this is K4. HUM 73 off. God bless.
Okay, Lenny, well, you're sounding good. I was just picking at you, throwing you under the bus. But I know you'll be cooking for yourself and a few of the guys over there, and it'll be good. All right, we'll break with Lenny, and we'll pick up Richard down there. Richard, how you doing? WA4FUU, Appreciate all the work you do in the AM world, too, as well, Richard. It's over to you for your comments in the Tuesday night SAMRC Swap and Fellowship Net.
W4AMI from WA4FUU.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much. I appreciate all your accolades and so forth.
I want to specifically thank you and Sam for calling and presenting us this evening. It's always a pleasure to listen to you guys. I've enjoyed sitting back and listening to the net as a whole. It's always a pleasure. This was the first AM net that I got started with way back when. I can't tell you when that was. It was a long time ago.
John, I want to comment on that VZS. Your Ranger sounds really, really good. I've told you that before, but I just want to reiterate. How about the transmitter? This signal all around. Just amazing. Enjoyed it all day today. Look forward to the cooler weather in the coming weeks and months.
Kevin, I want to turn it back to you, and again, thank you so much for all that you do.
W4AMI,
W4FUU.
The multi-almanac doing a fantastic job. No complaints on this end up here. I tell you, the band's been just great this evening, and AM signals were just absolutely they were great. Appreciate everybody that stopped by and checked in. And let me just take a standby here and see if I forgot anyone, which I don't think Sam and I either one did, but you never know. We don't want to upset anyone. If we forgot you, please come now, or if you'd like to get on the bottom of the list, come now. This is this is W4AMI.
Thanks for the relay, Glenn. W4CDJ, we're going to try one more time, Kevin. Maybe you hear me.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan. I got you. You're sounding good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was in earlier on the pre-net, and you did a fine job, Kevin, on the pre-net. No problem there. And I had a good day. We were working 40-meter AM phone. I was talking to a friend of mine over in Minneapolis, and a breaker come in there, and we tried to pick him up, and he sounded kind of funny. And then he started coming in really, really good. His call sign was AF5AI. Couldn't find out anything weird to it. 40,000 feet altitude, heading for San Diego, California. So you guys might want to look him up on your QRZ if you have the possibility to do that. It was a very interesting QSO on 40-meter AM phone today around 12:30 p.m. Now, Eddie Brown, he's probably already gone, but yeah. So overall, Ed don't want hold the candles of Prince Albert. That's not better pipe tobacco. Glenn, thanks for trying to pick me up on the relay there. I appreciate it. Good signals all around. Thanks again, Kevin, for the pre-net. And 56 degrees here in Lawrenceburg. Had a frost warning last night. So I hope the Ranger's holding up, Kevin. That's all we're running here with a homebrew amplifier, about, looks like 300 watts or so. Anyway, catch you guys later. W4CDJ.
Well, Dan, you sound like a local. You're 30 over from Indiana all the way to Georgia. I'd say that was a good hop, and sounded great. Audio was just beautiful too on the Ranger, and sound really good. Okay, well, we've reached the end of the list. I tell you, I've got a whole page here, Sam, and I mean, what a night for AM. It's just beautiful. All righty, well, at this time, let's see, we'll conclude the SAMRC Swap Fellowship Net. For the ones listening out there that don't know what that is, that's the Southeastern AM Radio Club, SAMRC Swap Fellowship Net. And again, If you want to see what the net's all about, the people, radios, if you want to see projects, there's a whole bunch of information. Or even become a member, go to the website w4ami.org. Whiskey 4 Alpha Mike India.org, O-R-G. And there's just a lot of good information on there, what the net's all about, and the years, and just good people, and I enjoy it. I've been with these guys for several years. Okay, we got the net coming up on Thursday night, the Gulf Coast Mullet Society net. It'll be the same time. They don't have a pre-net. It'll be 6 o'clock Central and 7 o'clock Eastern coming up on Thursday. And then Sunday at 6 a.m. they got the Warren Ellie Memorial net at 6 a.m. Eastern. That'd be 5 Central. I think I got that right. And then Monday night it'll roll back around with Eagle and so on and so forth. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all that joined in this evening. We had a great night, and 73s from Villa Rica, and that's the city of Gold in West Georgia. 73s, 1-0. I enjoyed helping you, Sam. WA4KM.
I always enjoy working the net with you, Kevin, and I wish I was a mullet swimming in the sea. I could have all you good AMers just fishing after me. Over. Diddly-da-de-da.
I like it. Dead. That's a good one, Sam.
Thanks, man.
Hey, guys, please.